Your brain is currently being hacked, and you're the one providing the password. Every day, you are lied to an average of 200 times by your boss, your partner, and even the mirror. Most of these are white lies, the social lubricant that keeps society from grinding to a halt. But hidden within that static are the high-stakes deceptions, the ones that change the course of lives. You think you can spot them. You think you know the tells. You're wrong. In fact, the more confident you are in your lie detection skills, the easier you are to manipulate.
But the deeper we looked, the stranger it got. Science has spent decades trying to build the perfect polygraph, only to realize that the most dangerous liars don't even know they're doing it. How do you catch a shadow that doesn't know it's dark? If your gut instinct is actually a byproduct of evolution's biggest mistake, how can you ever truly trust anyone again? Stay with me, because by the end of this, you will never look at a conversation the same way. Let's start with the classic myth, eye contact. We've been told for generations that a liar can't look you in the eye. However, the most sophisticated liars actually maintain more eye contact than truthful people. They are overcompensating. They are watching you to see if you're buying their story. While an honest person's eyes might wander as they search their memory for a fact, a liar's eyes are locked onto yours like a heat-seeking missile. They aren't looking for a memory, they're looking for your approval. But even this overcompensation has a limit. The human brain is a processing machine with a finite amount of cognitive load. Lying is hard work. You have to invent a story, ensure it doesn't contradict known facts, and monitor your body language all at once. This creates a bottleneck. When the brain is overwhelmed, it prioritizes the lie over the body. This leads us to our first real sign, the frozen statues. Most people expect a liar to be fidgety or nervous, but the high-stakes liar often becomes eerily still. Their hands stop gesturing, their feet stop tapping. Their brain has rerouted all electrical power to the storytelling department, leaving the motor control department in the dark. It's a biological shutdown. However, just as you start looking for stillness, the body finds another way to leak the truth. This brings us to the second sign, the linguistic lag. An honest person speaks in a messy, disorganized way. We use contractions like don't and can't. We start sentences and trail off. But a liar is a perfectionist. They will say, I did not have any contact with that person, instead of, I didn't see them. They avoid personal pronouns. They distance themselves from the lie. They don't say, my car. They say, the vehicle. But here's the twist. This verbal precision is exactly what gives them away. Because they've rehearsed the script, they can't handle a pattern interrupt. If you ask an honest person a question out of chronological order, like, what was the very last thing you did before you left? They will pause, think, and reconstruct the scene. A liar will often glitch. They've memorized the story from A to Z. If you ask them to tell it from Z to A, the cognitive load becomes too heavy and the mask cracks. We are now 3 minutes in, and we have to face a terrifying reality. We aren't just the victims of lies, we are the architects of them. We live in a simulation of sincerity. In every interaction, you aren't just listening to words, you are participating in a silent, high-stakes game of evolutionary poker. Your brain has evolved a specific module just for deception because in the wild, the animal that could best hide its intentions was the one that survived. We are the descendants of the best liars in history. Your intuition isn't a superpower. It's a relic of a tribal survival mechanism that is now being exploited by deep fakes and digital mirrors. This leads us to the third and most chilling sign, the micro-expression. No matter how well someone rehearses, the limbic system, the primal part of the brain, reacts faster than the conscious mind. For a fraction of a second, usually 1/25th of a second, the truth flashes on the face. It's a micro-expression, a flash of contempt, a momentary twitch of fear, a duping delight smirk when they think they've won. However, even if you see the micro-expression, you might still be wrong. This is known as Othello's error. You might see a flash of fear on someone's face and assume they're lying, but what if they're telling the truth and are simply terrified that you won't believe them? The fear of being accused looks exactly like the fear of being caught. The body doesn't have a specific lie signal. It only has a stress signal. We are searching for a smoking gun in a room full of fog. We think of lying as a betrayal of the truth, but as we peel back the layers of the human psyche, we find a more unsettling truth. Humans are not built for accuracy. We are built for belonging. We lie to ourselves so that we can lie more convincingly to others. We convince ourselves we are smarter, kinder, and more honest than we actually are. If we didn't, the weight of our own flaws would be too much to carry. The ultimate paradox of deception is that the most successful lies are the ones we want to believe. We are complicit in our own manipulation. We ignore the stillness, we ignore the linguistic lag, and we ignore the micro-expressions because the truth is often more painful than the fiction. We choose the comfort of a beautiful lie over the cold, sharp edge of a secure reality. True connection requires us to drop the mask, but the mask is the only thing protecting us from a world that demands perfection. If everyone spoke the absolute truth for just 24 hours, every marriage, every government, and every friendship on Earth would likely collapse by sunset. We are trapped in a dance where everyone knows the steps are fake, but nobody wants to stop the music. So the next time you look someone in the eye, remember, you're not just looking at a person, you are looking at a biological masterpiece of concealment, and they are looking at one too. If the only way to survive is to deceive, and the only way to love is to be vulnerable, then every human connection is an impossible gamble. Think about it. If you can't trust your own brain to tell you the truth about your own character, how can you ever be sure you aren't lying to yourself right now?